Okay, so now it's time for our presentation today. And those of you that were paying attention on Facebook, we're not having an actual guest speaker today. The San Jose GNA Ambassador team is going to do a presentation on how to properly pitch your business without sounding like a sales pitch. How many of you here have had people overly pitching their business and it gets really annoying after a while? Or maybe even right away, right? Come on, let's be real here. Karen, are you awake? Have you ever been pitched a product or service from somebody that doesn't even know you, that just met you in the event?
I was in the bathroom and someone was pitching me.
In the bathroom?
They followed me.
That's a violation.
They followed me into the bathroom and I'm like...
It was a female, right?
Yeah!
Okay,
And they were trying to show me their stuff.
trying to show you their stuff.
And I'm like, I need to go pick up my son. I can't have this conversation right now. I'm still trying, and they're following me out to my car.
Wow.
I had one, I couldn't even get off my chair because she was right in front of me. She wouldn't let me go, and I couldn't even get up because she was right smack in front of me doing her pitch.
So, we don't do that here.
No, we don't do that here at the GNA, and trust me, from the very top, those of you that don't know me, I'm running this chapter for right now, but I'm also the president and founder of the Genuine Networking Association, Elias, Melas, and Len Walter is one of our San Jose area regional directors here. He's been helping me run these events for a while, and Karen's one of our co-ambassadors. We don't like to say this, but we actually kind of do police the groups a bit because, we want to make it a safe place for you to network. We don't want you coming here and getting annoyed by one or two people that are just trying to sell the whole group, their product before they even get to know somebody. So, we're gonna talk about that today. I want to start off. I don't know how many of you have joined other groups on Facebook. There's this other group page called Home-Based Businesses, or Home-Based Business. And I'm going to give this example because our good friend and former lead ambassador of this chapter, Sal Mama, made a posting out there yesterday. And he's like, how do you handle people when you're at a networking event with other network marketers? How do you handle people that are pitching you their business? You each have your own business. You're looking to both recruit people. How do you do that? I mean, he goes, I talked to somebody about my business. And then, later on down the road, he tried calling me, trying to hard sell, talking to me about his business. And I got back from the posting and I wrote, well, look, first of all, if you're going to pitch your business to somebody, you have to listen to their pitch. It's only fair, right? If you're only out there to take and not to give and help other people, how is that going to make you come off to other people there? So when you're in, and I'll be honest with everybody here, I joined, for those of you that were here last week know, I just recently joined my very first network marketing company about a week ago. I haven't gone full blown with it yet. I'm still working out the kinks and I'm not going to hard sell. I'm not even going to mention what it is here today at all. But, I feel that there's definitely a right and a wrong way to, get your business out there. And if you're going to talk to somebody about your business, you need to listen to, what they have to say as well. When you have your one-on-ones, like, we talk about the one-on-ones, you get to know, like, and trust people. That's what we do here at the GNA. And what happens at the one-on-ones? Somebody's going to ask you, what do you do for a living? Or how can I help you, right? Does that give you the right to pitch your business or hard sell your business? What are we supposed to do there, Karen?
As far as I understand, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to help the person together, assist the person to find business or maybe prefer business, but not to get you business per se. So you're not doing the work, but you're together helping the person. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to have you all come up here to answer so you can use the microphone. That way the video will record this. But basically, when you're having the one-on-one, you're getting to know what that person does. Because if you don't know what that person does, how can you help them move their business forward? Should you happen to have a need for their product? Or should you happen to go through your mental Rolodex, which you should always be going through, for referrals for that person once you get to know, like, and trust them, and vice versa. You know, when that person, you know, asks me what I do, it doesn't give me the right to say, I have the greatest insurance salesperson since sliced bread. I can find you a better deal. You need to go with me. How's that going to make... Francis' eyes are just rolling just hearing me say it right now. See? And that's what's going to happen, right? So you build that relationship. You know, I'm an insurance broker, you know, auto, home, commercial, but I'm more interested in hearing what you have to say. And then they might say, well, what type of insurance do you sell? Then you briefly say auto, home, commercial, but I really want to help you more. Now, if that person wants to hear more about your business, you know, give them little tidbits along the way, but don't give them more than they've asked you for. And then you're pushing it at that point right there. So what I want to do is, I'm going to leave this seat open here, Len, if you want to sit right over there, because we're going to have people come up here and take the mic to share their feedback, and that way our camera can see it. Our very good friend, Brian Schelling, who's the co-chairperson of our Tracy GNA Monthly Mastermind, sent me a last-minute Facebook message, that's why I ran a little bit late here this morning, asking if this presentation would be recorded. Brian, this one's for you. That's how much we care about people at the GNA. So let's give Brian a big round of applause. San Jose to Tracy. So Lawrence, go ahead and coming up here. You have some feedback.
Well, actually, just kind of a funny observation. I don't know if this is really so I had kind of a funny thought as you were saying. You know, someone asks you, you know, about your business, so you just feed them a tidbit. But I'm really here to learn more about your business. So what happens when you've got two people who are doing that?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to, you're sparring about who goes first. No, you go first. No.
That's a good
Has
thing.
that ever really happened? I don't know if it really has. I think people recognize, okay, no, I appreciate the fact that you want to learn about my business and I want to learn about your business. So I understand we're coming from the same space. Somebody starts first, and I think it works out. But I just wondered if anybody really ever had a tug of war with somebody who wants you to go first, and you want them to go first.
Yes.
You have.
Would you like me to speak on that?
Absolutely.
Trust me, I've been there, I've done that, I've been everywhere and back. Oh, that's okay.
You should sit over there, Elias, and I guess.
On several occasions, and that's when the other person's really genuine. And when you go back and forth, it really shows that you care about each other's wants and needs, not just your own. So at some point, you know, if that person's really adamant, you know, about me going first, I'll say, okay, you know, normally I'm the kind of person that likes to yield to other people, that's the way I was raised, but this is never going to end, so I guess I'll briefly tell you what I do, then I'd love to hear a lot more about what you do, etc. So that's how I kind of handle that situation. And when you get that, that's when you know that person's someone to stick around and truly help us out for the right reasons.
Right. So I think what you're saying is two things. One, your goal is not to go last. Your goal is to make sure that you are really listening to the other person. And, you know, kind of by extension, the second thought is that what that also means is that if what you're hearing is they really want to hear about your business as much as you want to hear about theirs, then you go ahead and yield and go ahead and tell them about your business. But you got to be sensitive to the other person is the key.
That's the key right there. If you're not sensitive to the other person's needs, then you're done right there. They're going to write you up, and they're going to play it like they're being nice. But like Francis right there, and we're good friends. But when I was even, you know, jokingly talking about, you know, how to not pitch my business, her eyes were already rolling right here, and she knows we're just joking about it. So imagine if it was reality. Oh my
I do
God.
do that to people.
Your eyes would have been popping out of the back of your head, right?
I do that because I'm like shocked.
Yeah.
Because they're like, and I'm like,
Exactly.
I can't help it. It's just
Right.
an automatic reflex. Like I'm shocked.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
anything else?
No, that's all.
Thank you very much.
I'll probably have some other thoughts, but that's all for now.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lawrence. Give Lawrence a big round of applause. Who else wants to share, you know, a story?
I do.
You know, Jennifer, your story
Oh,
was
Jen,
was
Jen has
interesting.
a story.
Coming up here real quick, then Francis, we're going to get to you
Go, Jen.
next.
Go, Jen.
I want to hear more about this
Elias,
story
why don't
here,
you
so
switch over?
our
Because
viewers
we're
out
all
there
going to trip
can
on
hear
that.
this.
Here.
It was very interesting.
Sit over there because you got the mic. No, you sit there.
You
Yeah.
sit there, so then you're next to the mic,
There. And then you don't.
and then
you don't
you're not the
trip.
sun, because we're gonna be
We're a
agree, and then
liability.
we love you and we want to take care
Oh,
of you.
well, thank you, I appreciate it.
He's not feeling well.
Are you sitting next to his good ear?
Am I sitting next to your good ear?
I'm fine.
So, my experience with this network marketer, I was coming from an exercise class and I needed to go pick up my son. And I finished my class and this person is following me with their binder saying, hey, I really wanted to talk to you about this. And I'm going into the bathroom. And she follows me into the bathroom and she's talking to me about her product as I'm peeing. And then as I'm washing my hand, she's pulling these things out of her binder, trying to hand them to me. And I kept telling her, I don't have the attention span to have this conversation with you right now. I need to go. And she goes, oh, that's okay, I'll just come with you out to your car.
Wow.
Oh my.
And as I'm washing my hands, I'm going to dry my hand, she's trying to give me her flyer for her business. And then she follows me out to her car, and I hugged her. I said, you know, I'm so blessed to meet you. I gotta go.
Good for you.
I was just, and the sad thing is when I met that person again in a social setting, that's the impression that I had of her. So I wanted to really not be friendly with her. And I mean, at the same
You
time,
were quite annoyed, weren't you? I would be.
I was annoyed and I was kind of floored. I'm like, I'm peeing here.
It was just a fascinating experience, though.
You know, and it was like a 3-minute experience. The first impression that you have with people, it sticks with you. You have 30 seconds to make a first impression. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
And even if you try to rewrite that and leave the past in the past and create something new going forward, it still lives there until you have some other type of impression of them, and then that's what you hold. So, that was my experience. I hope none of you do that.
Especially when they're king.
A big round of applause for that story. That was awesome. I mean, not a great experience, but I'm glad you shared that because people need to hear stories like that so they understand how we feel when they're approaching us. And a lot of people, here's what annoys me the most, is when I'm treated like another number. You know, how many of you have been to See's Candies during the holidays and they had that now serving sign there? Okay? And you pull that number, okay? That's for the right reason. Obviously they're busy, they're going to help you as soon as possible, but when you're networking, there's no now serving sign, there's no pull a number. You know, it's about how someone's going to make you feel when they initially approach you. And that's what we want to get into is, you know, what's the elevator pitch? If you're going up an elevator with somebody, what do you say to them? You know? What would you say to somebody, Francis, why don't you come on up here and tell us about that and maybe share your experience as well too, one of your negative experiences.
Oh, a negative one, or do you want to know what I say when I'm trying to pitch my...
Well, first say
The negative one?
First say your elevator pitch and then tell us about a negative experience you've had with somebody trying to hard sell you.
Oh, you want my elevator spin? Okay, well, I did one over the weekend. I was at Dallas and I put my lunch on a chair to save it, but then I saw some people I needed to talk to. And then when I came back, somebody was sitting on my chair.
Ooh.
So I said, you know, you're sitting on my chair. And he goes, what, you want to do something about it? And so I said, yeah, I'm going to swab you. Because that's what I do. I swab people for their DNA. And he goes, what do you mean you're going to swab me? And then I gave him my whole pitch about what I do, and he started laughing. And so I said, come on, I want to introduce. Then I just talked to him, and then later on he goes, okay, swab me. I go, really? Because I had no swab. And so I had to run around.
That's pretty funny.
I know, I had to run around and ask, you know, some of my colleagues, does anybody here have a swab? I have somebody that needs a swab. But it all worked out, and so now it's because we were funny, and it was
You were
not
charming too. You were charming, right? Come on now.
Yes, okay.
I can say that about you, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good thing. Because now he's in my team and I'm going to build Dallas now. And that was good. And then my negative one was I did agree to do a one-on-one with someone. And as you said about the sparring, well, I couldn't even have a chance to spar because she wouldn't give me a chance to spar. So I just sat and just waited and waited till she was done. And that was 30 minutes later. And so I just sat and looked at her. And then she's going, you know, I never asked you what you did. I go, no, because you never gave me a chance to. and she's going, oh. And so what do you do? So I told her. And then I'm trying to explain it to her. And then she still had to give me something. So I sat back and just watched her.
Wow.
And I just watched her. And then she's going, I guess I do talk too much. I said, yeah, you beat me. And so from there on, I mean, it was like, I don't want to, you know, that was she left a bad taste in my mouth. I can't even refer her to anybody because I'm afraid that she's going to do the same thing to them. And she has these workshops, and I'm afraid to tell people to go to those workshops, even though her workshops are really good. You know, I mean, like, there's a promising key to that might have something I know. No way, because what she did was she just smothered me to death. I had no breath left. So I can't have her do that to people I refer her to. So unfortunately, that's how it is. Yeah. And there was another one. I came to talk to somebody, and I'm talking, and they're on their cell phone texting, and I'm just waiting and waiting until they got their text phone. You know, they're texting. And then she'd look up, and then something happens, and she had to look down to see what the message was. And that was another one. It was like, you know, I can't tell anybody to come talk to you because that's what you're going to do, the same thing. You're going to be rude to them. That's too rude for me. So you know, those are just like my little pet peeves.
Elias, want to share something?
Give Francis a big round of applause. Yes, Len, I'm just going to get to you. Before I get to Len, and I'm going to set the stage for you, Len, because this gentleman has networked longer than all of us here. This guy is a master networker, and you've just dealt with all walks of life, huh, Len?
I have.
And the thing is, another thing that really kind of gets to me is, and this primarily happens into a field I just entered, network marketing. I'm still an insurance broker, you know, still my primary focus, but I decided to, you know, I have a passion for this product and decided to go to network marketing. You cannot contradict yourself when you're in network marketing. And how many of you here feel that a lot of network marketers, MLMs, contradict themselves? Seriously, who feels it? Raise your hand. If you feel some network marketers contradict themselves with their statements, they don't practice what they preach, right? Only about half the room raised their hand here. Are the rest of us awake? Because it happens every day. So Len, why don't you share with us some of your experiences, some of the events we used to go to, Chamber and other ones, and let us know your thoughts, please. Welcome, Len Walter, our San Jose Regional Director.
Well, first of all, let me piggyback on what was just said. We should always remember to put our brain in gear before we put our mouth in motion. Very important. I'd like to relate the story of the best elevator speech I've ever heard in my life. It probably happened close to 3 years ago, and I still remember it. You don't want to give a canned speech. You want to say something, hopefully they'll get somebody to laugh, because then they'll listen to you a little bit more. But I was at a networking event at the San Jose Tech Museum downtown. And one of the first people I ran into was a lady, and I explained what I did briefly, and I said, "What do you do?" And she says, "I'm in the ticket business." Elias has heard this story. And I said, "Well, great. Well, what kind of tickets do you sell?" And like a typical salesperson, she says, "Well, what kind of tickets are you familiar with?" And I says, "Opera tickets." And she grins and she reaches into her purse. She hands me her business card, which says Officer Bales with the San Jose Police Department Recruiting Division. She was in the traffic ticket business. But that was so original, I still have not forgotten that. Now, I was not a candidate to join the San Jose Police Department, but if I had been somebody that was a candidate, I would have referred them. I'm still shaking my head, because that was very, very original, and I assured her right away that I was legally parked in the parking garage. So, don't start out with the routine stuff.
Yeah.
If you say something original, get them to laugh, and then they'll listen to you.
Thank you. Give a big round of applause. I'm still funny. I lost my words. It was still as funny as it was when I first heard it, man. I love hearing that story. Thank you. You know, I want to mention, to me, when I look at people, when I meet them, like, for example, I met Lawrence at our GNA monthly mastermind event in Santa Clara a few weeks back. And that event is every third Wednesday of the month from 6 to 8. And, you know, Lawrence approached me afterwards, and you know how he approached me? He said, I really like what you're doing. It resonates well with what I'm used to. You know, I've tried to run some events out in the area where I'm at. They've kind of been up and down, and I would love to have your help maybe relaunch something out in that area. And just like that, we bonded, right, Lawrence? We haven't even talked about business yet. We kind of know what each other does, and we're going to save that for another point. But what do? We've created a relationship.
Yep.
And where's that going to go? Now, I'm sharing our network with Lawrence, and what's Lawrence going to do for us once we launch, you know, the East Bay, wherever that is, in, you know, Fremont area, Union City, wherever it is, whether it's later on this year or early next year, he's going to share his network with us. And how huge is that? Now, if I came up to Lawrence and said, hey, Lawrence, are you paying too much for your auto insurance? I could save you 15% or more, right? Yeah, she's laughing because she's watched too much TV like I have, right? No, I'm not Geico, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But see,
That's a good thing.
if I would have done that to Lawrence would have written me off. And I would have missed out on Lawrence's entire network of friends. And I know some people in that area, but this gentleman here knows a heck of a lot more people than all of us because he lives there. That's the area where he's from. And he's very supportive to come out here. He's just going to be a very supportive member. So I'm not going to upset him by doing the wrong thing. So, does anybody else have a story that they want to share with us? A negative experience that really, really annoyed you? The way somebody approached you? Marie, do you have any stories?
Actually, I do.
Marie, please come on up here. We're going to give you the mic, Marie, because we know how much you love the mic.
I love
Give Marie a big round of applause. You deserve the spotlight, Marie. You do. You're welcome.
Well, recently I met someone new, and I asked that person if they would be interested in doing a one-on-one. And we had a little dialogue about where we would meet and whatever. And then the next Facebook message I got back from this person was, oh, and by the way, I do not want you to talk about any of your MLM products.
Wow.
Yes. I am not interested. I cannot do business with everyone I meet. And then she proceeded to say, and I'm new to the area and I don't know anyone, so I can't refer you. I mean, we hadn't even sat down to get to know one another. And this is the way she approached me. So, and I'm wondering how you would feel about that.
Oh,
Well, would you feel offended?
you know, let me borrow this mic. Let me
Okay.
rescue you here.
It is an
Thank you.
opportunity.
Oh, how would I feel about that? You know how I would handle that? If somebody told me that, number one, I would say I'm sorry. I'm trying to become your friend. Oh, the mic was turned off.
Sorry.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. The way I would handle that, you know, I'm really direct because I've been networking for so long, and I'm out there for the better good. If somebody's going to pull that on Facebook, number one, I'm going to probably end up unfriending them because they're a waste of space. I get 5,000 friends out there, right? Okay? And if I ever come close to maxing that out, I don't want to have somebody out there that's going to have something negative to say. You know, you don't come out and say, well, I don't want you talking about any of your MLM businesses, or, you know, I'm new to the area and I don't want anybody to, you know, refer you business. There have been a lot of people that have come to this organization that are new to the area, and they come here and they allow us to get to know them. And they don't say things like that. Whether they feel that way or not, that's not the what. If they tell you that in your mindset, you're like, I'm wasting my time, right? And you're a good person, Marie.
Well, I just felt like that person did not even, we can sit down for her to find out that the company I'm with is not considered an MLM company. And I felt like here she was prejudging what I was doing without even getting to know me.
Right. And even if it is an MLM company, it doesn't matter what it is anybody does.
That's right, yeah.
It matters getting to know them and liking them and trusting them. And the one-on-one, you know, what I would have probably told her is the one-on-one is for us to get to know, like, and trust each other. You know, part of getting to like and trust each other doesn't mean we're going to do business with each other. I want to know what you do, and hopefully you all want me to tell you what I do, but it doesn't mean I'm going to pitch you my business. I'm there to get to know you. You're in a new area. I want to do a good deed. I have this network of people that I can connect you with that can really help grow your business. And you can expand your research out here, but you know what? I'm sorry, you just take me off. And that's what I would say.
I told her she offended me. I told her I was offended by what she said. I mean, well, what are we going to talk about then? Oh my God. If we're not going to get to know one another. So I just felt very offended with her.
What did she say when you told her she was like, you were offended? What did she say?
She apologized, but she didn't see why we should get together.
Right, that's a person I would not waste my time with. Yes, Lawrence.
Would you like me to step into the mic?
Yes. Marie, give Marie a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Hang on one second. Let me reset the camera. Okay, we got about 10 more minutes or so.
So there's actually an interesting lesson in Marie's experience that is different than what she talked about. And I mean, obviously, you know, what I'm going to say is a little bit of playing devil's advocate, and I'm not in any way condoning the behavior of the person you spoke with. But I think that's really a lesson for us, is that, you know, this person, you know, probably met the same person that Francis did a little while ago in the bathroom.
Yeah,
It's like
that
she
would be
probably had some really, really bad experiences, and so, you know, that's all the more reason that we don't ever want to be in a position of putting them through that kind of an experience. So, you know, she's probably been burned too many times, and that's no excuse for behaving the way she did, but it kind of creates some understanding about why she behaved the way she did, I think. Okay. I mean, she wouldn't do that unless she's already had some bad experiences. So I just wanted to share that. So that's another good reason not to be that pushy network marketer or salesperson of any products, because then you create this bad impression, not only of you, as you developed a very specific impression of a salesperson, but also it creates a bad impression for your industry.
Oh, very good. I was going to say, Lawrence, I'm never going to the bathroom with you, because guys don't do that.
I feel better already.
Guys don't do that?
Guys don't do that.
Oh, so this is a gender thing.
It was a joke.
Oh, wait.
You can ask your director and creator of the GNA Business Mastery Program, Berlin Zapata, has even specifically mentioned that's why ladies like to go to the bathroom together. It's you know. I'm not going to get into that anyway.
Sorry, what I do, buddy. I'm staying away. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lawrence.
I just want to briefly piggyback on what Lawrence mentioned, and this is more of a comment or a thought in mind. Really popular, well-known speaker, Zig Ziglar.
Yes.
You mentioned him before. Said his famous motto is, if you help a lot of people, if you help enough people, then you're able to get what you want, or something that's like that. With that in mind, I am curious if we cannot control others' actions. we can only control ourselves. So under those circumstances, is it possible that sometimes maybe if we're feeling particularly good and we're having a really great day, maybe perhaps once in a while we could be tolerant and say, this person really did something really bad, and if this person continues with the way they're selling and hard selling to us and other people, they will never have a business. Their business is gonna die. Maybe I should step back and give this person a book and say, I'm really offended with what you did, and because of that, I would not want to recommend you. I want you to recognize that this could become a problem, and here's a book, perhaps when you have a time, maybe you can check it out. Just a thought.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Karen. Give Karen a big round of applause. I want to get some feedback from Rick and maybe one more from the audience. I know we have to wrap this up about 12:37 or 38 right now. But here's some other things that has happened to me recently, and I kind of went public with this over a month ago. I was really, really annoyed because it was people from the GNA all over Northern California that I've known for years, and because of the fact that they think they've known me for years, and because I'm the president and founder of the GNA and I have this big network that if you get me into your network marketing company, I'm going to make you a millionaire, right? So, you know where I'm going with that, right, Danielle? Right? And it really annoyed me, and these people were pushing and pushing and pushing, and I went to some of their events. And I'll go to events to support my friend. It doesn't mean I'm going to join the company. I can't join every company. That's not possible. I can't have a passion for too many things. I can have a passion for one or two, maybe three things. Okay? I have a passion for insurance. I love that, honestly. That's why I put into it. I love to help people with things they have to have that they don't know anything about, and no one else is taking care of them because they only care about making a sale, and I actually care about explaining what you're getting. And I have a passion for social media. Those are the two things I have a passion for. And people know that because they see that. And they see that the GNA is a social media type of organization. We use social media like crazy. So, if you're going to invite people to your events, and I think one of the best ways for a network marketing company to be successful, I know we're focusing more on network marketing today because that's where it seems like most of the issues are at, is run your own events. Invite people from the GNA and from other resources, but don't force them to come. Invite them. Do a Facebook, event page. Use Meetup.com. Use LinkedIn. Use Eventbrite. They are all free except for Meetup. Meetup does cost some money, but the rest of them are free, right? Okay. And once they come to your event, that doesn't mean that they've opted into you. They've opted into your friendship. Does that mean they've opted into your business? And if you've known these people for years, and they've been a good referral base, and because they come to your event, now you're going to follow up with them. Hey, did you like the presentation? Hey, did you like this? Hey, what do you think? Would this fit in your blah, 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 blah? Hey, we have a great thing today. How are they going to feel about that if they're not ready to buy? And those 2 years that you've spent to build a reputation with that person, what's going to happen in 5 minutes or less? It's going to sound really weird, but it's going to go down the toilet, right, Rick Craig? So Rick Craig, let's welcome our overall Bay Area Regional Director, Rick Craig here. Him and Len Walker work well together in this area, and Rick's more all over the Bay Area helping us out. Let's hear some feedback from you, Rick. Come on, let's get over here. Welcome, Rick Craig. Give him another big round of applause. Tell us about your experiences, how people have approached you, negative experiences at networking events.
Well, I'll tell you, Elias and I have a very similar background where we have managed networking organizations for a living, or at least most of our day is spent working on them. And the challenge is, I've seen it since I moved out here in 2005, that network marketing has really taken off. And I truly believe that network marketing is a great business format if you treat it like it's your business, it's your product, it's what you sell, it's how you make your living. And I think the challenge for many, and it's just education. I don't know what you guys have talked about, so I apologize for that. I'm being redundant, but I think selling the product is the key.
How to properly pitch your business without sounding like a sales pitch.
Gotcha. And, without trying to recruit every single person you meet. Because believe it or not, when you network, you're networking with people who love their business. They love their job, they love what they do, they love the people they work with. They love selling the product that they have, using the product that they have, being the product. Sometimes they are the product. And if you go into a networking event and you have that in mind, and you're not trying to sell somebody on the idea of joining you, but you're trying to sell them on your product. And again, this is once you've gotten to know somebody, once you've been introduced, once you've introduced yourself, once you've gotten comfortable with that person, you want to stay on your product. And at some point, if that person is interested in knowing more about the opportunity or knowing more about what that product can do for them or what have you, that's your door. Now that door might take 6 months to open. I can tell a short story about my uncle who is in Amway, and he lives on a farm in northern Missouri, which nobody knows where that is. His nearest neighbor is 5 miles away, and he is a diamond direct for Amway. So, the guy is making 6 figures a month, easy. And his nearest neighbor is literally 5 miles away. Yeah, so, and he did it selling soap. He sold the soap, because the soap is what got Amway its name in the first place. And that's what he sold. The soap, the drain cleaner, all of that stuff, which was Amway product, and he just sold it. And people wanted to know how they could get it. Was there a faster way? Could it be shipped right to their house, drop ship, whatever? And he was like, well, all you gotta really do is sign up, and they'll send it to you and give you a discount. And that was it. And they did that, and before you knew it, the guy's a multi-millionaire just doing Amway, selling soap. And that's an actual Amway story that they use, but that's my uncle. And he did it. There's other things about the organization that I don't particularly care for, but the way he did it is a very successful way. He didn't pressure anybody. He just says, hey, if you want to have the soap delivered to your house, sign up. They'll deliver it. That wasn't anything else more than that to it. And it just showed you he sold the product. He believed in the product. He believed in what he did. Treated it like a business. And if you treat it like a business, I happen to work for a company. And the company, has multi-layers of management. There's a president, a CEO, executive vice presidents, and only me at the bottom of the pile. I got hired. And because I sell something, everybody in that hierarchy gets a piece of the pie. They get something. They get a bonus. They get something because I sold something. Sound familiar? It sounds just like your organizations. If you have a direct marketing.
It's like network marketing.
We're not a networking marketing. We are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ and have a board of directors and the whole works. And everybody succeeds because somebody sold something. Not because they went out and got somebody else to go to work for them. Because they went and sold somebody. They had a position open. They got a position open. You want to work for me, I'll pay you a salary, or you can work for 100% commission, or whatever the structure is what I think works. And I think if more network marketing businesses took that approach to their business as a structure, you wouldn't get all of this, hey, join me kind of thing. I have a specific opening for someone who of anyone who would be interested in earning a living selling a product. And you're not misleading anybody, you're doing exactly the same thing, you're just not tackling them and say, hey, I think you could make $1 million selling my product. That's, again, I don't have the interest, I love what I do, but I do know somebody, and that worked really well, because Mabel, everybody knows Mabel, I networked with her upline, and she kind of said that to me one day. You know, do you know anybody who would be interested in the fashion industry and would like to join? Like to join me? And I said, just so happens that I do. There she is. So it works if you do it that way. But if she'd have come to me and said, oh, I think you would make a great fashion salesperson, blah, 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 I wanted to hit her with a telephone, because, I mean, that's what I do. I sell telephone, you know? And if she came up to me and said that, I would have just been appalled. Like, you don't think I love what I do? I'm not demonstrating that enough? You think I need something else in my life? You know, so sometimes you can insult somebody by going the wrong way. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you for giving her a applause. That was your uncle, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we have the cake boss, Bud Colostro, and so your uncle's like the soap boss, right?
Yeah.
Soap boss. We made millions selling soap.
Yes, indeed.
Go figure, not gold, soap.
So, yes.
You know, you mentioned something there, and I'm going to mention this, and we're going to talk to one more person, one more quick story, and we're going to wrap it up, so we're running a little overtime here today. But a lot of network marketing companies, and I'm going to approach this differently when I go into mine and start continuing out with mine, is that they'll focus more on the compensation plan and dream rather than the actual product. And I know you focus on the product, Francis, because you're very passionate about that. You can see that. Most people are like, are you looking for an additional income stream? You know, are you looking for whatever, right? It has to do with money. Well, how? You know, I don't even know what this is about yet. If I don't have a passion for the product, I'm not going to sell it. If I can't use it myself and benefit from that product, why the heck do you want to recruit me? I'm not going to sell, and you're not going to make money off of me, and I'm going to be ticked off, right? So focus more on the product. You know, when you talk to people, and I think you agree with this, right, Rick?
Yes.
Okay. When you talk to people, you know, tell them what you do. Like if you have a social media product, tell them that, hey, you know, I help people create, you know, these websites, blah, 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 that helps them do this, and it's really helped me with my business. People are going to ask you, how has the product benefited you? Because if you don't lead by example, then why should they buy from you if they can't see your passion, right?
Absolutely. Gotta believe in it. You gotta have 100% passion.
So that's the thing. When people run their network marketing events that I've been to, it's like 85% about the compensation plan. Honestly, the compensation plan annoys the beep out of me. Okay, I censored it, and we're a professional group here. And quite frankly, I don't care about the compensation plan until I know if I have a need and feel like I can actually go out there and talk to people about this product from here. If I can't, the compensation plan means beep! Come on, help me out here. Give me some beeps here. Right? One more person, really briefly. Who has one more story that they want to mention? Francis?
I have a quick one.
Okay. Thank you, Rick.
Get out of the hot
Get you off the hot seat.
Okay.
Welcome back, Francis. I'll move over here. Do you like this seat better?
Yeah. Oh, it's warm.
Well, the sun beams
where they
on
go
it.
in hot seat.
It's not me.
It's not me. GNA. No, I have a quick one. I was networking in a group just like this, big one, and I talked to a lot of people, and we exchanged cards, and then there was one, I always like to talk to them, like really get deep down to talk to them, not just, here's my card, goodbye, nice meeting you. It's more like, have a conversation for at least a few minutes. So when I got back home, I emailed her and just said it was nice meeting you, and we had a great conversation, and I just wanted to pass on some information to you that we talked about. Then she emailed me back and she goes, who are you? And I was like shocked. So I emailed her back and I said, remember, I am so-and-so, we met, and this is what I said, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and this is what you said, da-da-da-da-da. And so she's like, I never heard back from her. And then months later, she got her radio station spot going and her newsletter. So she started sending me stuff. And so, but I wasn't going to be really, low class and say, who are you? I just said, I can't believe it. She has the audacity. I mean, I would not tell anybody about her radio station or what she was promoting or pass on her newsletter to anybody because of just that. It was like, you're in business, It doesn't matter. If you don't know who that person is just because you forgot, I can totally understand, but just act it out. Just say, okay, thank you, I received your stuff. Do something, but don't say, who are you? It's just like, this is a business thing. This is totally business.
And Francis, before you leave the hot seat there, then again, we go back to the point of where you felt like you were another number.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take the time to get to, I know everybody here, I can go up to you by name and call you by name. Don't we all like, isn't that personal, right? That's going to get a lot further, right? But if, like this person is probably just going to a million networking events and passing out cards, taking cards, putting you on their contact list, playing the law of large numbers, which people don't realize that. For example, at the GNA, we have 690 people in our mastermind group because we're master list, but we know all those people. That list is more valuable than a list of 10,000 people that nobody knows. Because then what are you doing? You're throwing darts in the air, right? And you never know where they're going to land, right? And they might land on the wrong person. Then you're in trouble, right? So that's the thing there. Those types of people, I will tell you, I will spot them and I will just write them off because they're only in it for themselves.
Right.
And they look at you as a number. You're not a number. Who's a number here? Who's a human being here that has a heart? Come on. Len, Carrie did a heart. Let's try that again, everybody. Who's a human being here that has a heart? Because if you don't, I don't know how you're staying alive. I don't know what's circulating the blood through your body here. Okay. So, Francis, thank you very much. And thank you, everybody. Hope you all got something out of that. And Brian, this one's for you, buddy, and Tracy, and everyone else throughout the GNA. Thank you very much. Let's give everyone else here a big round of applause.